So dear students, now we are moving to Unit 1.3. In Unit 1.3, you have three different structures. They are have you ever plus past participle, that is verb 3, we call it for our convenience verb 3. Have you ever plus verb 3. Second structure is have you ever been plus verb 3. And the third structure is have you ever had plus possessive object plus verb 3. Now, all these three structures are used in different situations. Now, what are the situations? Let me explain. Let me explain the structures first. See, have you ever plus verb 3, I mean past participle. Verb 3 is actually past participle form, third form of verb. We call it for our convenience verb 3, but it is past participle in grammatical language. Have you ever plus verb 3? This structure is used when the speaker wants to know if someone has ever done something himself or herself. Speaker wants to know if someone has ever done something himself or herself. That means स्पिकरले जान्न खोजेका छन् कुनै व्यक्तिले केही काम आफैले गरेको छ कि छैन. फर एक्जाम्पल, इफ आई आस्क हैव यू एवर भिजिटेड पोखरा, that means I am asking you if you have visited Pokhara yourself or not. If I ask have you ever invited someone, it means I am asking you तिमीले कसैलाई इन्भाइट गरेको छौ कि छैनौ. Means you have invited someone or not. That is my question. First structure. Second structure, have you ever been plus verb 3? It is passive form. And here the speaker wants to know if something has ever happened to someone or not. Means कसैले स्पिकरले सोधिरहेका छन् कि कसैले कसैलाई somebody has done something to someone or not. Means it is in passive form. For example, if I say have you ever been invited, that means म के सोध्दै छु तिमीले कसैलाई इन्भाइट गरेको छौ कि होइन. That is not the question. Have you ever been invited means I am asking if you have ever been invited. तिमीलाई कसैले निमन्त्रण आमन्त्रित गरेको छ कि छैन. तिमी कहिले आमन्त्रित गरिएको छौ कि छैनौ. Means have you ever been invited. This means you are asking someone if he has been invited, means someone has ever invited him or her or not. That's the question. Third is have you ever had plus possessive object. Possessive object means object, possessive pronoun plus object. Possessive pronoun plus object. My book is possessive object. His book, possessive object. Her book, their book, our house, possessive object. Possessive pronoun, his, her, my, your, our, their. These are possessive pronouns plus noun. For example, my marker, possessive object. My coat, possessive object. My students, possessive object. My hair, possessive object. So, possessive object plus verb 3. Now, let's see here. Example clearly mentions have you ever invited anyone on your birthday? तिमीले कसैलाई कहिले इन्भाइट गरेको छौ कि छैनौ. Have you ever been invited? Have you ever been invited on birthday? तिमीलाई कसैले इन्भाइट गरेको छ कि छैन means have you ever been invited on birthday means तिमी कहिले बर्थडे मा बोलाइएको छौ कि छैनौ. Means आमन्त्रित गरिएको छौ कि छैनौ. That's the question. So here we have three. And the last one you see, have you ever, for example, I say म कपाल काट्छु or म कपाल कटाउँछु. Of course you say म कपाल कटाउँछु. If I say म कपाल काट्छु, that means I am a barber. के म बार्बर हूँ. I'm a barber. I'm a teacher. I don't say I cut hair. You say I have my hair cut. म कपाल कटाउँछु. When you say म कपाल काट्छु, I cut hair. A barber says I cut hair. If you ask a barber, what do you do? He says, I cut hair. If you ask a teacher, what do you do? He says, I teach in school. I teach in college. If you ask a driver, what do you do? He says, I drive buses. I drive bus. That means someone does something, and here what we say? म कपाल कटाउँछु. Then what should I say? I have my hair cut. म कपाल कलर गराउँछु, रङ गराउँछु, रङाउँछु. I have my hair colored. म लुगा आइरन गराउँछु. म लुगा आइरन गर्दिन, म लुगा आइरन गराउँछु. Then what do you say? I have my clothes ironed. म जुत्ता पलिस गराउँछु, गर्दिन आफै. I have my shoes polished. म कार सर्भिसिङ गराउँछु, आफै गर्दिन. I have my car serviced. So these are the different ways of expressing, these are the different ways of asking questions about the experiences of someone, and you have examples clearly. Yeah, the third one is the speaker wants to know if someone has ever had something done. Someone has ever had something done by somebody else. कसैले कसैबाट केही गराएको छ कि छैन. Clear? Now you can ask, have you ever stolen someone's money? तिमीले कहिले कसैको पैसा चोरेको छौ? Have you ever stolen someone's money? Second one, have you ever had your money stolen? तिम्रो पैसा कहिले चोरिएको छ? Have you ever had your money stolen? Means तिम्रो पैसा कहिले चोरिएको छ? That is the difference. And then, have you ever been insulted? Means तिमी कहिले अपमानित भएको छौ? Have you ever been insulted? Have you ever been insulted? तिमी कहिले अपमानित भएको छौ? Have you ever insulted anyone? तिमीले कसैको अपमान गरेको छौ कहिले? That is the difference. Okay, now in unit 1.3 you have some sentences there, and you have to make questions. For example, they fined me for a parking offense last week. There is the question sentence, they fined me for a parking offense last week. Now what can I ask? I say, they fined me for a parking offense last week. Have you ever been fined for a parking offense? Then similarly, they printed my picture. They printed my picture in the newspaper once. They printed my picture in the newspaper once. Now, what you say? Have you ever had your picture printed in the newspaper? That's how you can make. And then third one, somebody punched me. Somebody punched me on my nose this morning. Then what do you say? Have you ever been punched on your nose? Secondly, again, the customs men searched my luggage last time I came back from abroad. Now what do you say? Have you ever had your luggage searched? Similarly, someone broke into my house 2 weeks ago. Now what do you say? Have you ever had your house broken into? This is how we make questions. Now, one more way to identify if there is me as the object. For example, you see, they insulted me. Me is there. In that case, we use you use have you. They insulted me. I say they insulted me. In that case, what we use? Second structure. Have you ever been insulted? If there is me as object, then you use have you ever been insulted. Second, if there is my plus noun, my book, my pen, my hair, then in that case you use the third structure. Have you ever had plus possessive plus verb 3. For example, they painted my house. They painted my house. My is there. Now you say, have you ever had your house painted? They repaired my bike. Now my is there again, my bike. Then possessive object. Now you say, have you ever had your bike repaired? That's it. And then if there is neither me nor my, if there is the other object, for example, I lost, no, not I lost. For example, you say, they visited Pokhara last week. Now what do you say? They visited Pokhara last week. Now, have you ever visited Pokhara? They completed their homework. Have you ever completed your homework? They passed the examinations. Have you ever passed examinations? That's how we can make the sentences asking for the experiences of someone. Now further we shall discuss in the next class. Thank you very much. And now let's focus on Unit 1.6, that is new experiences. This language item, grammatical item is very important from the examination point of view, because from Unit 1 this is the most frequently asked question, and it is, expressing the ways, it deals with the ways of expressing new experiences, means how to express our new experiences when we have new experiences in life, means when we do something for the first time in our life, how do we express them? Yeah, let's see the structures. There are three structures. First one is, this is the first time subject has have ever plus verb 3. Second structure is subject plus has have never plus verb 3 before. Third structure is subject is MR not used to plus verb 4, or let's say ing form of the verb. Now, when we do something for the first time, we use these structures. You see the examples first on the book itself. On page, in 1.6, there is given example. You see, I can't get to sleep. There is given, I can't get to sleep. Now, what is presented there? See, this is the first time I have ever slept in a tent. I can't get to sleep means मलाई निन्द्रै लागेन, म सुत्नै सकिन, म सुत्नै सक्दिन. Right? Then why can't I sleep? Because this is the first time I have ever slept in a tent. टेन्ट मा सुतेको यो मेरो पहिलो पल्ट हो, त्यसैले निन्द्रा लागेन. Second is, I have never flown at night before, means राति म हवाई जहाजको यात्रा कहिले गरेको छैन, राति हवाई जहाजमा कहिले उडेको छैन. That's why it's my first experience, so I'm not able to sleep. Third one, I'm not used to having sisters. Sisters means, short sleep during the daytime, usually short sleep. Means I'm not used to having sisters. मलाई दिउँसो सुत्ने बानी नै छैन. That means we can use these structures to talk about our new experiences. Now, let's see the examples. I show you. The first one is, my feet are killing me. My feet are killing me. What does it mean? My feet are killing me. It means मेरो खुट्टा दुखेर मर्न आटे. खुट्टा साह्रै दुखिरहेछ. My feet are killing me. त के गर्दा खुट्टा साह्रै दुख्न सक्छ? लामो यात्रा गर्दा, पैदल यात्रा गर्दा, पहाडको बाटो, right? Hilly road. If you walk on the hilly road, then you may have may have pain in your feet, in your legs. Then if you see walk, dance long hours, if you make a dance practice for long hours, then you have, if you do something for the first time, तिमीले त्यस्तो के गर्यो पहिलो पल्ट कि खुट्टा साह्रै दुखेको छ? So we can say now, my feet are killing me. Now I am going to use all these three structures. I can say, this is the first time. This is the first time. Now, whose feet are killing? My feet are killing me. So, this is the first time I have ever walked. This is the first time I have ever walked such a long distance. This is the first time I have ever walked such a long distance. I said, this is the first time I have ever walked such a long distance. Second structure I can use, I have never walked such a long distance before. I can use, I am not used to walking such a long distance. Now, if I can use the different situation also, I can present different situations, you can present different situations. Let's see. This is the first time I have ever walked such a long distance. Now you can say, I have never walked on hilly road before. Then I am not used to playing football. I am not used to playing football. Football खेल्दा पनि दुख्न सक्छ. Or for the first time you have put on very tight shoes. In that case also you can say, I am not used to wearing tight shoes. एकदम tight जुत्ता लाउँदा पनि खुट्टा दुख्न सक्छ. Yes. So we can say, I am not used to wearing tight shoes. So this is the way of expressing our new experiences. When we talk about our new experiences, we can use one of these structures. Now, here bhapho mentioned. Sometimes noun phrase can also be used. Sometimes noun phrase can also be used instead of ing. Bhapho, instead of bhapho, sometimes noun phrase can also be used. For example, let me say, I have stomach ache. I have severe stomach ache. Now why? This is the first time I have ever eaten such spicy food. एकदम मसाला पिरो खाना खाए त्यसैले पेट पोलिरहेछ दुखिरहेछ. You can say, this is the first time I have ever eaten such spicy food. Second, you can say, I have never eaten such spicy food before. Then, I am not used to spicy food also can be said. Or you can say, I am not used to eating spicy food. I am not used to eating spicy food, or I am not used to spicy food also can be said. So, they are the three structures, different structures of expressing our new experiences. Now, I dictate the different answers. You can notice, you can see on the book itself, 1.6. God. Number 2, God. This is embarrassing. Now, embarrassing means एकदम नराम्रो, एकदम लाजमर्दो, right? Embarrassing, लाजमर्दो, शर्मनाक, right? Now what do you say? This is the first time. Why is this embarrassing? किन लाजमर्दो भयो? So you can say, this is the first time I have ever failed in English. I have never failed any exam before. I am not used to being insulted like this. मलाई आजसम्म कसैले यसरी अपमान गरेको छैन. Means I am not used to getting insulted. I am not used to getting scolded like this. यसरी मलाई कसैले पनि गाली गरेको छैन. पहिलो पल्ट कसैले गाली गरेछ त्यसैले लाजमर्दो भयो. This is the first time I have ever failed exam. पहिलो पल्ट म एक्जाम फेल गरे त्यसैले लाजमर्दो भयो. I have never failed any exam before. आजसम्म मैले कुनै एक्जाम फेल गरेको छैन. आज फेल भएँ. That's why new experience. So let's see the third one. Do you think you could slow down a little? Do you think you could slow down a little? Means अलिक बिस्तारै कुदाउन सक्छौ? अलिक बिस्तारै कुदाउनु हुन्छ कि? Then why? किन भन्छौ? म बसिरहेको छु कुनै कारमा, कुनै बाइकमा, एकदम स्पिड कुदाइरहेछ, मलाई डर भयो, म भन्छु do you think you could slow down a little? किन? त्यो कुन अवस्थामा भन्न सक्छु? Yes. मैले फर्स्ट टाइम के गर्दैछु म? This is the first time I have ever traveled on a hilly road. पहाडको बाटोमा यात्रा म पहिलो पल्ट गर्दैछु. अलि बिस्तारै कुदाउनु, मलाई डर लागिरहेछ, प्लिज. That is the way. I have never traveled on a hilly road before, right? Then I am not used to traveling on a hilly road. In that sense you can say, or other situations. Now third one, she is feeling terribly nervous. She is feeling terribly nervous. त किन त? Why is she feeling terribly nervous? This is the first time she has ever faced an interview. पहिलो पल्ट इन्टरभ्यू फेस गर्दैछिन्, नर्भस भइहाल्छिन्. She has never danced on the stage before, right? स्टेजमा आजसम्म डान्स गरेकी छैनन्. That's why she is feeling nervous. पहिलो पल्ट हो. She is not used to facing interview. She is not used to speaking in public. हैन? मासमा, पब्लिकमा बोल्ने बानी छैन. Here some students have questions regarding this structure, the third structure. They say after used to ing, it sounds very odd, it sounds strange, typically different, but this is the true structure. It is used for expressing the habitual action of the present, something you are habituated to. Yeah, you are familiar with. Students are usually familiar with used to plus verb 1. Used to plus verb 1, that is for the habitual action of the past. त्यसलाई भन्छौ हामी अभ्यस्त भूत. एउटा स्ट्रक्चर छ used to plus verb 1. Used to plus verb 1 त्यो के को लागि हो? अभ्यस्त भूतको लागि. अभ्यस्त भूत मतलब म कुनै काम पास्टमा, पहिले विगतमा गर्ने गर्थे तर अब गर्दिन. जस्तै म केटाकेटी हुँदा गुच्चा खेल्ने गर्थे. That means अब त खेल्दिन नि. Means my habit of the past. अनि म के भन्छु? I used to play marbles while I was a child. In my childhood, I used to play marbles in my childhood. That means म केटाकेटी हुँदा गुच्चा खेल्ने गर्थे तर अब खेल्दिन. राइट? अब जस्तै हुनुभन्दा अगाडि म सधैँ धेरै सिनेमा हेर्ने गर्थेँ तर अब चाहिँ हेर्दिनँ द्याट मिन्स आई युज टु go to cinema very much or I used to go to cinema frequently before lockdown.